Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to the first instalment of my Christmas series. There'll be a new episode every day for the next 12 days, so if you are not already subscribed but you don't want to miss any of these creepy, weird and wonderful folklore tales, then click the subscribe button and then you won't miss anything. That being said, let's get into our first folklore tale. Over the Christmas time, we quite often think of like Christmas being a nice, warm, cheerful, happy time of year with Father Christmas and his merry little elves. But in actual fact, across Europe, there are some incredibly dark and twisted tales dating back centuries. So the tale that I want to tell you today is the tale of Gryla. Gryla is a giantess who lives in the mountains of Iceland. Throughout the year, Gryla spends most of her time up in her cave with her family, and they don't really interact with the general population at all. However, during Christmas time, her and her family come to town to terrorise literally everyone, but mostly the children of Iceland. Gryla has 13 children, all boys, called the Yule Lads. They have got some weird and wonderful names. I will literally list them here. You can have a laugh. They're amazing little men. But yeah, she sends out her Yule Lads as scouts to the town to see if they can find any naughty children. They tend to do this over the 13 nights of Yule, which are around the same time as Christmas and New Year's. If a child has been good, they would leave a small gift for that child and be on their merry way. However, if a child had been naughty, they would leave a rotten potato and then report back to Gryla. After hearing of the children that had been misbehaving, Gryla would come to the town to collect the children. She would cart them off in a great big sack and carry them back to her cave so that she could create a rather nice feast for her and her family. Her favourite was naughty children stew. That sounds awful, but yeah, she had an insatiable appetite for it, and legends state that she was never short of food. So all I can think of is that there must be a lot of naughty children in Iceland. Gryla was first mentioned in like the 1300s, mostly in poetry, but she wasn't really connected with Christmas up until like the 19th century, so much, much later on. However, she clearly has an extraordinary lifespan. In that time, she apparently has married 3 times. That she ate one of her husbands because she got bored of him. The only thing I can think of is that maybe she's the first feminist of Iceland. Although her current husband resembles a troll, so I would imagine he's a lot harder to eat. In a more modern society, Gryla is still seen as an extraordinarily scary character to most Icelandic children, and she's still used in the same fashion as she was, when she first became Gryla. the Yule lads have kind of had a makeover. They are far more friendly. They've been sort of Santified. They're much more friendly. They're portrayed more as tricksters these days, more so than the dark roots that they really came from, which were they were tattlers that would run off to their mother and lead children to the slow cooker. So, they've had a much friendlier version released in Iceland these days. But Gryla, I am sorry, I keep butchering her name. Gryla herself is still seen as an ugly mountain giant. She was also bestowed the name of the Christmas witch. So, yeah, she's her image hasn't changed, and I doubt it ever will. She has made more modern appearances. I did happen to notice that Gryla made an appearance in the new Gods of War franchise, the new game that they released. However, they strayed really far from her actual folklore tale. She's just kind of there in name more than legend. But yeah, Gryla, she was mean. But only to the naughty children. So if you were a good child, you were safe. So Icelandic children, be good.